Joining us now is Stephanie Coker Aderinoku with stories trending around the world. Hi, Stephanie.
Good morning.
Hi, Stephanie.
It seems
good
like
to
it's
see
been
you.
good to see you too. It seems like it's been a very interesting morning in politics.
Yeah.
Yes. You had Professor Pat Utomi talking a lot about the APC and ADP. Well, the APC and PDP. Well, the first story that's trending is the defection of 6,208 members of the All Progressive Congress. In Osun State, led by the deputy chairman, Aziz Adeshiji. So these people have defected to the Action Democratic Party, ADP, and Adeshiji blamed the defection on nepotism, impunity, and unconcerned attitude of the APC in the state. According to reports, the 6,208 members are made up of 580 local government executives and 5,620 executives at the ward level. The new ADP members were welcomed by the party chairman Toye Akinola in Osogbo. Now, this is very interesting because ADP was formed in 2017. So for the younger generation, it almost seems like a party of fresh new ideas, fresh new people. But with this defection, although these people that have defected don't carry weight in the Senate, like the others, we've seen those moving across to PDP, is this another movement of people being recycled, do you think, or
580?
That's
Well,
what
I mean, what you're likely to find,
6,208.
what you're likely to find, obviously, is it's election season, and we're going to be seeing more stories of this nature. People moving from one place to the other. But it's good, you know, you listen to Professor Utomi, and he made the point that, look, many of these people are just looking for personal space. Politicians move back and forth, not necessarily because they are interested in what is important to the Nigerian people, but because they want to achieve their own political ambitions or goals or objectives.
Yes.
And that is where the problem is.
Yes.
If all of this is being done in the public interest, you know, with a determination to really serve the people, then it will have been better, it will have been something to crow about.
Yes, because one of their complaints is nepotism.
So we talked about earlier.
And that means that, you know, you're not getting what you want. People are being favoured over you, friends and family. So it just goes to say what you're saying. There's a lot of weight there in what they're doing. Well, I guess we'll go onto social media to find out later what's going on, and I'll update you tomorrow about that.
Okay, can't wait to
Well, condolences have been pouring in for Rhodes University student Kensani Maseko, who was said to have committed suicide last Friday after allegedly being raped. The 23-year-old member of the student chapter of South Africa's Economic Freedom Fighters, EFFSC, left a suicide note on Instagram admitting she had been raped. Maseko posted a photo with her date of birth and last Friday's date as her date of death and wrote, "No one deserves to be raped." Now, it's quite sad that this has happened, and important to note that South Africa has one of the highest rates of rape
in Africa,
in the world.
Oh, really?
Yes. In 250 women out of 100,000 women are reported to have been raped each year.
Now, this is clearly a very sad story. She's only 23 years old.
Yes, and it's been alleged that it was her boyfriend that actually raped her. So,
wow.
That saying they say that you often know your abuser is coming into play here. But the use of social media in this is very interesting. For you to actually write your date of birth and your date of death and to post it on the internet and then commit suicide. What do you think about the way people are...
We're in the age of technology, and people use the social media both for the positive and the negative. Now, this is quite unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
And I think that where the omission is probably in the area of education, civic education. She could have taken a different step. I mean, if you are raped, you have the option of reporting to the authorities and insisting on your rights and ensuring that that person is made to face, you know, the full weight of the law. But to go to the extreme point of killing yourself, that's quite unfortunate, and it's really sad. But the issue, of course, is that there is a wave of depression, you know, across the world now. People are depressed. I mean, yesterday you talked about the musician, you know, who is on drugs and who is also battling, battling depression. And it's the same not just in the West, but in different parts of the world. And people need to be helped, you know, and the experts, they say, look, the family plays an important
role.
role.
Yeah.
Friends, peers, they also have a role to play.
Yeah.
You know, when somebody is distressed, you know, a sense of community, you know, of identification, counseling would probably help.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
and it's quite sad because she could have become a voice for others who have gone through such issues, such circumstances, and it's very unfortunate. It's just very unfortunate. The bright star has been lost in South Africa.
sad.
Very sad. Let's go over to the US. What's
a
happening?
Californian mum who is suing her hospital for $5 million for allegedly performing an anesthesia-free C-section says that she was terrified when doctors sliced her open during the emergency procedure. According to her lawsuit, Dr. David Seif was paged multiple times but did not respond. So 9 minutes later, the C-section was performed by defendant Sandra Lopez without anesthesia. Well, Mota claims Lopez instructed staff to strap her down to the operating table before cutting her open. Her husband also claims that the hospital tried to smooth it all over by offering them a $25 gift card to the gift shop as well as a double room. The Tri-City Medical Center, meanwhile, has released a statement to the San Diego Union Tribune dismissing Mota's claims as an outrageous allegation and further stating that she was administered anesthesia. Well,
The $25 gift card is a slap in the face.
a big slap in the face. And also, what's interesting to note here is there are two sides.
Yeah.
So, who is really a matter of evidence, and I think the hospital should actually come up with evidence, substantial
yes,
evidence.
the burden of proof, I guess, is
Yes.
on the side of the hospital. And what we're dealing with here is a case of medical ethics.
Yes.
Okay. An ethical question has been raised, but it's up to the court to determine where guilt lies.
Yeah.
Because usually before a surgery is performed, the consent, you know, of the patient will be sought, or somebody, you know, representing the patient, and all of those details will be looked at. But of course, the good thing, of course, is that the lady involved is insisting on her rights.
Yes.
And I think that, you know, this is something also that is useful. And that Nigerians can learn from.
Right.
Many Nigerians go to hospitals, they are badly treated, they are wrongly diagnosed, but they just say it's the will of God.
Right.
You know, maybe sometimes, you know, even Nigerian women or all Nigerians should be more critical of what doctors do.
Right.
And that may raise the level of performance. However, if it's a frivolous claim, a frivolous allegation, the court will determine all of that and take the right decision.
I kind of doubt that it will be a frivolous claim. I don't know why someone will come out to claim that they were not given anesthesia.
Well,
Let's see.
as Ruben has said, we'll see what happens with that story. While in entertainment, Vogue's Revered September issue has arrived, and with it, a glorious cover starring the one and only Beyonce. The singer has fronted the glossy 3 times before, but there's something extra special about her 4th go-round. Anna Wintour gave her editorial role of the issue. Not to mention, the September issue is the magazine's world equivalent of January, its very own new year. According to fashionistas, women view September as the time to change and reinvent themselves, making it the most influential issue, the most influential issue of the year. Beyonce spoke about love, she spoke about parenting. We've seen Beyonce in this issue more than we've seen her in the last couple of years talk about things that people, her fans, want to know about. So she's had twins. She's, you know, gained weight, and she's very happy and comfortable in her own skin. If you look at the cover and the images in the issue, you'll see that she's wearing minimal makeup.
Yeah.
She doesn't have her extensions in, and she's saying she's doing this to help encourage men and women to embrace their figures, their image, and not to focus so much on the
I think there's been no one else, you know, in our field like Queen Bee. I mean,
Queen Bee, I love it. You're part of the beehive, right?
She's just special.
She is.
You know, but what I find more interesting about this story is that she decided to choose her own photographer.
Yes.
And the story goes on to say that this was the first time
Yes,
that a
the
black
23-year-old,
photographer, you know,
we
will be
spoke about
allowed
this.
to take cover shots for the magazine.
Yeah.
And I think that is good. You know, it's promoting identity, in this case, black identity.
Yeah.
You know, and it sends a very strong message out there.
Yeah.
And I like the cultural space in the United States where entertainers, you know, are making very strong political statements, you know, and they are becoming real, you know, strong voices in the making of society.
Yeah.
And I guess, again, in this regard, there's a lot that many of our own cultural figures,
Yes.
workers in Nigeria can learn from that.
Yeah.
To see that, look, if you're a musician, if you're an actress, it's not all about just being a slave queen and, you know,
I'm loving your
posing
lingo.
on-
I love it.
Queen, slave queen. I'm very up to date.
I wish we had more time on this segment, but I really love the cover. I thought that it was
Yeah, no, it was
beautiful.
amazing, and it's
Yeah.
interesting that Rihanna had the similar headpiece
For the British
for the
Vogue, yeah.
British
Yeah,
Vogue
that's
cover. So it's two strong females who are
Correct.
all black, both black,
Yeah.
representing the culture,
Yeah.
which is fantastic. So shout out to Anna Wintour for giving her creative direction.
I don't think she had a choice. It's Beyonce.
Yes, well, that's it on What's Trending. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie, for joining us on this segment.
welcome.
It's time now for a short break. When we return, we'll have life coach Lan Ray here to discuss issues of overcoming depression. Stay with us.